All right, welcome back. It's another episode of Six Pack Cinema. Today we're reviewing Creed 2. It's just Dave and I. I'm Sheehan. Jimmy's out, so that's why it sounds a little bit shittier than usual. But he's the guy who usually tells you that thank you for listening. You maybe came across us searching your podcast app looking for a Creed 2 talk, or maybe you're just a recurring listener. Either way, thank you for chiming in and listening. We appreciate the downloads. Keep doing it. Dave, I gotta be honest, I think it's gonna be you versus I today, basically similar fashion to Creed versus Drago.
Oh,
This is not gonna go well.
you didn't like it?
I don't know, but hey, how about the intro music? Go.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so movie review.
No, gut reaction. I don't understand what the fuck the big deal is with these movies. I just don't.
So you have bad taste.
Care to rebuttal?
You have bad like it's perfectly fine if you don't like it and it's not for you, but to say you don't understand why other people love them and they are so critically acclaimed just means you have bad taste. It's
Okay,
like
to say
objectively,
that-
these are objectively good movies.
To say that I didn't love them is it's different because I did enjoy it. I just don't understand why it's critically acclaimed. I think it piggybacks off of the drama, the natural drama off boxing, and if you threw a major
Well, no
motion
shit, but
picture
like
about boxing,
any movie about any sport does that. Like,
you take boxing out of this movie, it is a shit show. It sucks.
no, I think
sucks.
the Rocky movies always rely on like the dramatic scenes leading up to the fights.
No, it felt like okay. Maybe I'm carrying over my anger because you guys forced me to watch Rocky, Creed, and then Creed 2. So
You were also supposed to watch Rocky 4.
I didn't feel like I had to. I think I had a good gist of it. Rocky 4, was that the one where Creed died?
Yes. Yes, it is, because that's where he fights Drago.
Okay, yeah. So
So
Spoiler, I know.
Yeah, the backstory of this.
I mean, they're pretty heavy in the backstory with this one. Felt like I was there.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Rocky? All the way back there because I get problems with that one
my
too.
snap impression of this one is I liked it a lot, although I think it was not as good as the first Creed. I felt like the first Creed was a very good standalone movie, where this one relied too much on bringing things back from the Rocky franchise.
Okay, that's fair. I say fair, although I disagree with you 100% because I thought this was a better movie than the first Creed.
You just have horrible taste today.
No, I have completely accurate taste.
All right, let's.
This one had more. This one had more. This one had layers. Okay, this one had believable layers. The first Creed, it was just some dickhead rich kid with a shitty past, who didn't want to be. He didn't want to go off of his father's name because his father was a big time boxer. So he was running around as Johnson, and he didn't get anywhere fighting in Tijuana. So he
Well, he was
continued to
undefeated
not-
in Tijuana. He was doing that on the
Yeah, but
weekend.
no one gave a shit about him.
'Cause
No
it's
one gave a shit
Tijuana.
about
Nobody
him.
gives a shit about Tijuana, period.
Okay, so he wanted to still create his own name and not be piggyback off his father. So in doing that, he went to where his father fought. He went to his father's best friend and had his father's best friend train him. He got the second most famous boxer in the world to train him. Like, what point do you think that you're going to be like? Is this secret going to hold out? Like, you're doing this intentionally. It was so stupid. Like, if he really wanted to do it himself, he'd do it without Rocky.
Nah, I disagree.
Okay, well, how about this? The first thing he says to Rocky is like, "Hey, Creed's my dad." Yeah, that's doing it with your father's help.
I think he's okay with doing it with his father's help. He just didn't want to be compared to him, like in the public. I think there's a difference between like privately people knowing you're Apollo's kid and the public billing you as Apollo's kid.
I didn't like him.
Okay, all right.
Really? Okay.
Let's start with your whatever grievances you have.
Let's start at the beginning. Rocky. Now, I can't place myself. When was it? 1978? 76. I can't place myself in the year 1976. But if I could, I'd imagine I'd watch this movie halfway through and think, you know what? Philadelphia is where all the slow buses stop because this is real tough to get through. real tough, and it was like disgusting too. This I get it. Different time. You can't judge movies from the past and today's time. But the way this guy talked about his sister like this to this guy, I mean, I don't know what quote I sent you, but it was very, very dirty. He's like, "Oh, you doing something with my sister?" Like encouraging it. It was messed up.
I think
But
that's
that's
more
okay, I
a
guess.
Philly thing than a 1976 thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit of both. I'm saying in '76 and they still put that in the movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, but the Philly thing, I mean, they were straight up slow. They were nothing about them had any kind of like interesting factor at all.
They produced the greatest boxer of all time, Rocky Balboa.
Okay, now, hindsight, I will say this. Jimmy corrected me. I thought this was the stupidest fucking story in the world. Like, no, of course. Yeah, no, the big fight falls through. Let's just pick a random local guy to tell you. Apparently, it was a true story. Whoops, egg on my face. But the point still stands. It was dumb. And
I mean, I feel like that happens fairly often in boxing and MMA, where like the fight will fall through and they'll just pick like a random amateur to do it because it's a good
No,
storyline.
well-
Like that's
yeah,
not a rare thing to happen in fighting sports.
no, it is for this spectacle. Like that'd be like McGregor Mayweather. McGregor fall out, so we're gonna have some guy from LA fight Mayweather.
Yeah, I feel like that very reasonably could have happened. It's not a wild thing.
But they picked him based on his fucking name, which is stupid.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Like for me, my edit would have been, all right. So Rocky, he's really good, and he's a very good fighter. He beats everybody, but no contender wants to fight him because he's a southpaw. So he can never get the good fights. But he's still undefeated. He's still very good. That would make sense because then the big guy comes in and he's like, well, I want to fight the best southpaw. Fuck it, I can handle that. I can handle anything. That makes more sense. That's a bridge of reality to me.
See, I think it's better.
You think it's better? He says, "Oh, Italian Stallion, that's a name. I gotta get that name on my
Yeah,
poster."
no, I think probably because I work in advertising, I think the marketing people 100% would have been like, we need to fight this guy because it'll be a good marketable fight based on the name. That
Even
is
if, like-
and I work with like the
Marketable,
UFC
for
now,
sure.
and like that is 100% a big part of it.
I know, marketable for sure. Yeah, I get that, but you still have to protect your product. And like, what if you just knocked him out cold with one punch?
Then
Well, he had a
it
great
proves,
snappy name.
It proves he's the best in the world.
Okay. All right. I but I will say this. I tweeted out too. The first 100 minutes of this movie, I was like, "What in the fuck is this movie? Why do people love it?" And then after the hour 20, I was out of breath. Like I was just that fight sequence. It was a 25 minute fight sequence that had me breathless. It was amazing.
Yeah, honestly, your not tweets, your text to us while you were watching it got me so amped up. I think I need to go back and I haven't seen the first Rocky since like middle school,
Yeah. Well, it's
and
yeah,
like
watch
now
it. It's
I'm really excited to watch it again because it's so good.
I don't say. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm saying it's bad compared to what everyone built it up for me.
You want to know
what to be.
how I know you're wrong? Because the first one won Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Film Editing at the Oscars.
Which is bullshit
the
because I'm
awards
looking at it.
you love. And
I'm looking at it
die,
right now. Best
die.
Picture. He beat out Taxi Driver.
Yes,
How
better,
the fuck
easily a
do
better
you
movie
think
than Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver is one of like the marquee movies of all time.
Exactly.
All
And
the
Rocky
President's
is
Men,
above that. Rocky's on like most people's like top 5 of all time.
De Niro in Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter Finch won in Network. I was gonna say if Sylvester Stallone won Best Actor. I
No,
would
he's
also-
been nominated
He
a
did.
ton for it, but he hasn't won it.
Okay, good because he's
good.
he's good. He's not great. He's good.
I disagreed, but just because I think there is a ton of range in someone who can. He's created 2 like marquee franchises between Rocky and
Rambo.
and they're both wildly different characters, and he created both from scratch himself.
Yeah, but
and
they both
portrays
sound
them
like
both.
death. They both sound just like death.
That's because he had a stroke when he was a kid, and that's how he talks.
Are you shitting me?
No,
Really? He did?
I'm 90% certain.
God, I don't know about that.
I'm 90% certain he talks like that because he had a stroke.
I'm Googling.
You're going to
this.
feel real bad if you're mocking.
No, I won't. I'm not going to feel bad. He's made a name for himself. No, no. It's different. He during childbirth there was some issue with his mother where there's paralysis in parts of his face. Nothing to do with the stroke.
Okay, yeah, no, so I'm reading that too. Yeah, the doctors had to use like forceps during his birth, and
That's terrible.
Yeah, they severed a facial nerve.
Yeah, so that sucks. That's terrible. Poor mother.
So he talks like that because he physically cannot talk any other way.
So he can't move his mouth?
Part of his face is like, that's why it's like kind of looks droopy. And he talks.
It looks droopy. That's one thing. Because here's my other huge point is if you watch Rocky like I did, and the next day go out and watch Creed, you'll think this guy went to fucking Harvard overnight. The difference between young Rocky and old Rocky. How do you become that distinguished and like actually use your voice and use your mouth?
Well, he's also a much better actor now. This was like his first role. Rocky was like his first role too.
You're not getting it though. The fact that that right there makes sense. So he sucked in the first one. He was untrained. He sucked in the first one.
No, he was still good.
30 years later, he's better now.
It's the difference between like raw talent and like refined talent. He still had raw talent. He was still good in the first one. It's just more refined now.
He was good. Yes, he was good. But I think it was a very poor choice for him as a good actor to be like, you know what, I can act better now. I'm going to do this way. I think he should have gone back and be Rocky.
Well, if
still.
you saw all the movies, you would understand there's actually a reason for it.
Why? Tell me.
He actually gets brain damage and like has to go through rehab and comes back different.
You're telling me he got brain damage in these fucking fights and he came out with a better mouth?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense, Dave. That's not an excuse. That's even worse.
Well, he went through rehab.
Rehab doesn't make you like better than when you go in. It helps you. It helps you maybe get back to like 80% of where you were.
Counterpoint: Rocky was better.
Ugh. This movie, this series is, oh my god,
it's so good.
He had to get brain damage to speak better.
No,
that's what you're telling me.
The brain damage is actually like why he like lives in squalor, but he did
I thought
get
he
brain
lives in squalor
damage.
because he's
Huh?
I thought he lives in squalor because he's from Philadelphia and they just love trash.
No, because he is like crazy rich in some of the later ones, and then he is like he does get brain damage from a fight, and as he's going through rehab, he like accountant takes advantage of him and steals all his money, and so he opens up a restaurant and like moves into that shitty apartment.
See, the way I took it, not knowing any background, I was okay with the. I assumed he had money, but I thought he was just in deep depression after Adrian died.
Part of it is that as well.
Which I have to assume, you know.
Yeah, I mean, love of your life dies, you're going to be depressed.
Yeah, and you're going to be like, well, what's the point of like trying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that his whole living situation checks out. And actually, I thought he was rich because you check out that restaurant. He's had one customer in 3 years. It's Ivan Drago.
There was customers in Creed, I think.
I don't think so, man.
I haven't seen the first Creed in a while either.
I was looking for them. They weren't there. Not that I saw.
All right, what's your next complaint about these amazing films?
All right, I'll pepper in a good thing. I really liked. No, I know you're gonna call me biased because I have a kid now, but I liked the birth of the child being deaf because that added like some fire. That added drama to the whole movie. Having the baby be deaf was so sad, and it made you feel so much. When he's behind the glass doing the test, and that giant fucking tear just like poured down his face. One tear, like a bucket, just boom down. That killed me.
Yeah, that scene. I agree. I was so tense when they were just about to start the test. I was like, oh no, is she going to be all right or is she going to be all right? And then also right before that, when he's talking to Rocky, and Rocky's like, you're still going to love her, right? And he's like, of course I will. I was like, yeah, all right, good. If they even had him hesitate for a second, I think it would have like destroyed the whole character. But the fact that he's like, of course, I like no matter what her physical limitations are, I'm going to love the shit out of her.
Well, yeah, but the point of that one was his final word. He was saying is like, well, don't feel sorry for her for a second because she doesn't.
Yeah.
Don't make her feel any less than she is. She's everything she needs to be. If you feel sorry for her, then she's going to, and that nobody needs that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was important messages. That was good. I liked it.
I think in this and Creed, I think Tessa Thompson does a fantastic job as, I don't know the name of her character, but as his love interest.
She's okay. She's fine. Didn't blow my doors off. I couldn't picture anyone else doing it better. So I'll just say that.
I don't know.
Maybe
the look
maybe
on
the
her
character,
face, like in this one, after he does his whole speech and proposes to her, and realizes she didn't hear, and then she's like, "What did
horrible.
you say?" And he's like, "It doesn't matter." Like the look on her face, knowing her disability took
that
what
moment.
what would have been like one of the best moments of her life away.
That's the moment like girls dream of.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That was another gut punch like that.
Exactly, but I think she sold that scene 100%. Like,
Sure. No, I think that was a duo because him and his face like dropping like, oh, what? You didn't hear that? Like that was both ways. I like Michael B. Jordan. He's great.
yeah,
He is.
He's always
The more I
great.
see him, I gotta see. The more I see him, the more I like. Originally, I didn't think he was that great. I thought he was just whatever. I
The
always
first
gave
thing
him.
I saw him in that I really liked him in was, what's that stupid rom-com with him, Miles Teller, and Zac Efron?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I do. I don't. I can't have a clue what the name
It's
is.
such
But yeah.
that awkward moment.
Yes.
Yes, that movie made me. I was like, all three of these guys, because it's before any of them really were big names, besides Zac Efron, who was like a Disney Channel star. But that movie,
Yeah.
all three of them, I was like, these guys are all really good actors. Lo and behold, they all go on to be fantastic actors.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
I mean, two of the three of them
They're pretty
have
good.
like Best Actor nominations
Oscars.
or Oscars. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else we want to go down the list here? I had another point I was gonna make. I'll figure it out later on. But who do you think the real like walk away favorite was after at the end of the movie? Who did you feel good about?
What do you mean? Like, who is my favorite character?
I'll spare you. I want to tell you what I'm feeling. End of the movie, my favorite guy and the one I felt had the best turnaround was Ivan Drago.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
an Ivan Drago guy.
My one big critique of the movie was that we should have gotten more of Drago.
I'm
Like,
big time on
both
his
the father
side.
son. I love their relationship, and when they have that
Pure
dinner
pain.
with like the Russian royalties, like the rich families,
Yep.
and he storms out and he's like, "I can't believe she's back. She left us. She left you, Dad. Why are you making me do this?" And his dad like starts breaking. Drago breaks down. He's like, "We're doing this so you can have a good life. I squandered that opportunity."
Yeah, he wants his son to be the best, and he's pushing him real fucking hard. But so he basically treats his son like a soldier the whole movie, and you're made to think that this guy is just basically a machine / animal. He's not. It's not like a father-son relationship. It's like a whipping and an ass. Like that's just.
Yeah, it's
was
it's
real-
similar
real
to
tough.
like the relationship in Whiplash, with like the
Yeah.
mentor who's just pushing someone way too far.
Yeah, but this one, So I was like, all right, well, Drago's an ass. Okay, he's the bad guy. Done deal. I'm on board. It makes sense. But then, when the wife gets in the picture, like you can see, okay, well, he's got a little emotional. He's got like a little backstory. Okay, cool. Mind you, I have not seen him in the other movies, so this is just from a first person point of view, just this movie. And then when he starts to lose, and the people take off, that moment, Ivan Drago's face, I was like, oh. He didn't feel bad that they left him. He was like, fuck. I brought my son to this, and I brought my son to do the exact same thing that ruined my own life.
And it showed he loved his son and
Yep.
was worried about him more than Rocky did for Apollo, because he threw in the towel when
Threw the towel.
Rocky didn't.
He threw the towel in because he knew it was over. B, it was the right thing to do. He didn't want his son to get hurt.
Yeah, well, that scene, you haven't seen it, but in Rocky 4, Apollo is fighting Drago, and Rocky's like, no, you're clearly losing. I'm going to throw the towel in. And Apollo's like, no, I got this. And so Rocky, even though he knows the fight's over, doesn't throw the towel in, and that's why Apollo dies.
Yeah. And what was it? This was the 12th round that he did it?
Yeah.
And they said that he had never been past 4 rounds. So fatigue alone is going to kill you.
100%.
Not kill you, but yeah, it's gonna.
There was a moment in that final round when Michael G. Creed was
Jordan?
Creed was just beating the shit out of him, and he kept getting back up. And I thought, holy shit, they're gonna end this on a downer note where he becomes the next Drago and accidentally kills him in a boxing ring. Like I thought he was gonna kill Drago Jr. Like the same way his dad died.
Kind of wish they did.
I wouldn't have hated it.
That would have been drama. That would have sucked for him, but that would have been quite the twist.
And set up like a third one where he's depressed and like he's still the heavyweight champion of the world, but he killed
He
someone.
killed himself. Yeah. He's like, yeah, so he's depressed. Like, what are you talking
But
about?
like dealing with the ramifications of killing someone. That would have been a great
Okay.
third one if they're going to do a trilogy.
Yeah. Well, sure, but then that takes a really dark turn, and it was a whole different movie because these movies are about like fights.
No, they're about
can't
the
have, like, a
drama.
boxing
The fights
fight.
just highlight it.
No, this is why I got a big disagree with you. This movie, they're not about the fights.
Yes, I agree.
Excuse
They're
me.
not about the fights.
They are about the fights. They are
There
about the fights.
was your subconscious coming out because you know I'm right. They're not about the
No.
fights.
You take the fight out, it sucks.
No. I mean, the fights are always
Yes.
great, but it's all about the drama building up to them. Because if there was not good drama building up to them, then you wouldn't care about the fight.
I disagree. I just a good fight. It's just I mean, why do people stand and watch like the playground? Like, just like, oh my god, people are fighting. You drop everything and go watch because
I mean,
it's
most
fucking
of the
fight.
time it's because you know the kid's fighting in a playground fight. I
How
don't
was you
just
walking
watch
down the
random
street?
bum fights online, and I've seen crazy people
Yeah.
in New York attack people. I don't sit there and watch. You keep walking.
You're telling me that people like you see people having a fist fight in the street. You're in New York, so you're surrounded by crazies. So this is a different story.
Hey, I might be desensitized to it.
Well, it's not just that because if you see people fighting in New York City, it's only a matter of time before you get pulled in.
Oh yeah, also
Right?
true.
So yeah, it's more like a save yourself because it's out of control. It's like a tornado. It will suck you in, and you need to get out of there. That's just if you don't look at them, they can't hurt you. But most people, they see a fist fight, they're like, "Oh, let's watch." I don't know who you are, but I'm rooting for the bigger guy.
No, you always got to root for the smaller guy, the underdog.
Nah, you want a sure thing.
Nah, I love an underdog story. That's
Who
why
does?
I love the Rocky stories.
I don't know. I just at the end of the day, for me, sitting here knowing that down in Philadelphia there is a fucking statue of a guy who played a role in a movie based on a real guy who doesn't have a statue is just mind blowing. It makes me sad for
Well, I
Philly.
mean, the movie's made up. There isn't a
No,
real
it's-
Rocky.
No, it's not based on Rocky Balboa, but it's actually based on a true story. A guy sued him, and he settled out of court because he was right. This story actually did happen.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, Jimmy. I said no, but Jimmy proved me wrong. He pulled up the story.
All right, did not know that. That makes it even better. Love this movie.
Yeah. Well, that makes it even worse. Why is there a statue of this fake character when there's a real person who actually did it?
Because I think Rocky, the character, has done more for Philly than that real person who I don't even know his name.
Why has the character done more for Philly? Why?
Pride. And, like, revenue. Like, they're all filmed in actually Philly. It brings a lot of money to the city.
How piss broke is this town that a one movie is gonna? Oh, this. I mean,
That's your problem with Philly, not the movie. Fucking Detroit has a RoboCop statue.
yeah, but that's more like a look at this kind of thing. It's not the people in the city of Detroit don't rally around the RoboCop statue.
I mean,
They
if
just
you
don't.
go to
It's
Philly and
nice
you
to
don't,
look at.
If you go to Philly and you don't run up the steps humming the song to yourself and do the arms up at the top,
If you
you're
don't
dead
do
inside.
that, you're
You are
a
dead
normal
inside.
person.
No, you are
If
dead
you-
inside.
If you run up the stairs like an asshole with your hands in the air, you should just stop and reevaluate your entire life. Because you know why?
I
Stand
so
there.
wish Jimmy was here to break this tie.
No, stand there for 10 minutes and you'll see every dickhead Tom and Larry go up the stairs and do the same fucking thing. You're not original. Don't do it.
No.
And you look, and you know what? I loved how they just stood on top of those stairs, looking out over the beautiful city of Philadelphia, when it was just like 3 trash trees and a couple of tall buildings a billion miles away. It was not a good view. Why are they proud of this?
I don't think they're proud of it. Well, I mean, they are.
They're very proud of it. They're very proud of this fucking view. They showed it 18 times. They think this city's beautiful.
Philly is beautiful, man. It's the city of brotherly love.
I get so angry thinking how dumb these people are.
I think you just have a problem with Philly, and you're taking it out on these movies because they're great movies.
No, I'm just so I guess my whole life I've known about the Rocky Steps, I know about the Rocky movie, and now that I've seen it, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys so excited about? Like, I mean, there's going to be a stalemate because I refuse to secede to this one. I mean, this is dumb that a city like worships this guy like Jesus Christ.
It's the best thing to ever come out of Philly, besides, I guess, Meek Mill.
And Fresh Prince. I mean, yeah. I think a statue of Will Smith would be more appropriate.
No, I think Rocky movies have done way more for Philly than Will Smith.
Okay, if there's a statue of Rocky, then I swear to God they better be putting together a statue of the Philly Special that beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, because that one play did more for the city than this fucking movie franchise.
Disagree. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it hasn't had an objectively good impact on
economic
the city.
Economic
yes.
impact. Dollar and cents. Is it more than the taxes they could create?
$1.7 billion in revenue. This franchise.
To private investors, not the city.
But that means, do you know how many people have seen the movies and take away good thoughts of Philly because of these movies?
I don't think people are watching this movie and like, you know what, Philly's a great place to vacation. I might go there.
No, they're like, Philly's a great place to raise a family.
I don't think so.
Because they got kids riding motorbikes around, like in Creed.
I'm going to end this one on a happy note. I will say this: when in the second fight, it was right after Creed got his rib broke again, which that sucks. That's like real tough. And he knocks down Drago the first time, and it was the tense music, and it just like shot like ba 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 ba. I was like, woo, chills. That was
the Rocky theme. Else. I don't care who you are, that gets you amped up.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the
Rocky
in
theme the first Creed too. In the final fight, when he's like finally getting a hold of the fight and starts wailing on him, and the Rocky theme starts kicking in with each punch.
The Rocky theme has done more for the city of Philadelphia than the movie.
That's part of the movie, though. You can't have one without the other.
I'm just saying, but that one song has done more for it because that song is incredible,
it's like
and that gets you jazzed up real quick. No, it is. But when it just kind of swung, I wasn't expecting it. But they had the music, tense, and like just swung. Boom! I was like, oh, whoa, this is amazing. What a moment that was.
All right, let's hop into our reviews or our rankings.
Shout out to Jimmy, who's editing this. I've just screamed and peeked everywhere in the past 10 minutes, so I'm sorry.
Jimmy.
Reviews.
Yeah, Jimmy's scores might also have to be counted in this if you don't actually grade.
Oh, I'm gonna be very fair with this one. I'm just saying my anger comes from the fact that I don't understand why people love this thing and create it make it a Bible. I just don't. It's not that good.
It is. But Popcorn, what are you giving this?
Give it a 3.5.
Oh, I'm giving it a 5.
Nah, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. So we'll give it a 4.5.
All right, 4.5.
4.5. Because I gotta say, a lot of things pissed me off, but the fight was just incredible.
And the training montage in the desert, that was so great.
That was so stupid. Why do you gotta go to the fucking desert?
Because that's the thing in the Rocky movies. They always go to the wilderness and train.
Ugh, it's so stupid.
All right, critically, I'll go first this time. I'm giving it an 84. Like I said, it's still a very good movie. I think the first one's better. I'd rank, so of these 3 movies, because you've only seen 3, I'd rank Rocky 1 at a 95, Creed 1 at a 91, and then this one's a little bit less. It's still a great movie. There's very few things wrong with it. But as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I think this one relies too much on just bringing back things from the franchise instead of telling its own story. And we could always use more of, if you are going to bring things back, it should have been more time with the Drago family.
Yes, more Drago. Drago's the best. What'd you say, 84?
Yeah.
I'm giving this an average one. I'm giving 75.
That's so...
So that's averaging out to an 80.
Yeah, that's fair. At least if you had brought it below an 80, I would have said we had to loop in Jimmy's scores, even though he's not here for the review.
No, I stand by. I think 75 is good because this is an average movie. Just because it has some really shitty, dumb points, but it has some really high points too. So I'm gonna get it evens out. Yeah, I mean I've said a whole half hour's worth of my problems about it, but you get it by now.
Okay, if you are gonna see it again, what are you gonna drink with it?
Creatine.
Fair. I said protein shake. And mine.
I don't know. All right.
Wait, no, we're not.
Okay, how about this?
All right.
How about this? Ben Affleck has to be in this movie. Who is he?
Ooh. Creed.
No.
Yes, you recast Michael B. Jordan as Ben Affleck.
I was thinking if this was young Ben Affleck and he had time to get jacked up, I'd say Drago. Be great.
You mean young Drago?
Young Drago.
Yeah. I could see current Ben Affleck as that sleazy promoter guy.
Oh, yeah, he'd be good at that. He can be a slick little devil. But I think as he is right now, the way we know him, I think his best position would be the trainer. His little the corner guy that not Rocky, his other buddy.
Yeah. Well, again, that's I don't think you realized it. That'd be just as
son.
Yeah, that would be the same thing as casting him as like Creed's son, which makes zero sense.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't see color. Excuse me. Maybe his mother was white.
You don't get to be that white as Ben Affleck though. Rotten Tomatoes scores.
You Ben Affleck.
Exactly. Rotten Tomatoes scores, critic and audience. Which do you want first?
Give me the critic.
83.
Not too far off from us. We're 80.
Yeah.
We're 83.
So I should have asked for your guess what they were going to give it. What do you think the audience score is?
They're probably sucking its dick. Probably 95.
84.
Wow, so right on par with each other.
Yes.
That's
And
rare.
me. I didn't realize that when I wrote these down.
Okay.
Sweet.
So we gave it a 4.5 popcorns. And 80% critical. Not bad. That's a movie you should go watch, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up this episode of Six Pack Cinema. Next week we will be doing what? Do we know?
Maybe
We don't
Mary, Queen of Scots, if everyone can see it.
Check out our Instagram account at Six Pack Cinema. We're gonna post our next 4 weeks of videos. We gotta get back on track.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the
I've
holiday
been traveling
season
for like the
suck.
past week and a half. Jimmy's traveling now. Once we're all back in the same area, we'll hop
This
on a
has
call.
been the holiday shit show. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever. So check us out on Friday. We're going to do our weekly program called The Headliners, where we do entertainment news. So come back to us. Like, share, subscribe, listen, tell your friends. Thanks, guys.
Fuck Alaska Airlines.